Maintaining balanced hormones seems to be one of the keys to maintaining a long-lasting life, such as maintaining high levels of energy, good quality sex, and maintaining good muscle mass as time goes on. Several studies have shown that there is an increment of people with low levels of testosterone and low levels of bioavailable testosterone. On my last video on testosterone, I mentioned the importance of maintaining high levels of sex hormones. So for this video, we're going to see other ways to naturally increase testosterone, which, by the way, don't require willpower. When I mean that they don't require willpower, it means that it doesn't require you to set a training routine like strength exercises, high intensity interval training, or other types of mechanisms. Now, putting those things aside, we have other kinds of tools that are useful and don't require willpower. First, we have essential nutrients or building blocks to create the product and metabolic mechanisms to properly handle testosterone. If they happen to be in a deficit, a lot of things can be stopped and inhibited. Point number two are supplements like vitamins and minerals. While they may not be essential, they do help increase testosterone levels and the effects of it. And there are other methods, but for now we're going to stick to these two. First, we have raw nutrients, and one of the first nutrients that is very likely to be in a deficit due to its high demand is magnesium. Added magnesium to our supplements can help normalize testosterone levels and help with a few different things. First benefit is to help testosterone accomplish its function. Therefore, if there is low levels, the effects of testosterone are going to be affected. Magnesium also helps to lower sympathetic activity and lower stress levels, which means that if stress is lower, the body will lower cortisol levels and naturally increase testosterone. While there is a difference when it comes to the type of magnesium, there is one thing you should remember. If you're going to consume magnesium, do not combine it with zinc or iron, because these three minerals have a similar absorption mechanism, which creates a sort of a competition to be absorbed, meaning that if I drink magnesium, iron, and zinc at the same time, is going to create a lower rate of absorption on all three. Next, we have vitamin D, and a lot of research has been done on this, especially when it comes to male fertility. And that's because it was discovered that sperm had vitamin D receptor, thus showing us that there is an important role played by vitamin D. On the other hand, vitamin D plays an important role making steroid hormones and even sexual hormones like testosterone. Something to keep in mind is that the laboratories have denoted optimum levels of vitamin D higher than what the body actually needs in order to accomplish its functions. And although the amount that should be consumed is not high, the majority of the population still has a deficit. And when it comes to vitamin D, there is something that needs to be explained, and that is if you don't have raw nutrients to fabricate vitamin D, or in this case the precursor vitamin D3, it won't matter the amount of sunlight exposure, because sunlight is only to activate D3 to D4 and not to make it. The third, we have zinc. Is a mineral that works very similar to magnesium, as it also increases the levels of testosterone. Zinc is more readily used by the people whenever individuals exercises, as it is lost through sweat. But if you don't exercise, in most cases you won't need zinc, but still it would be a good idea to get yourself checked out. Next, we have DHEA. This is the precursor of all sex hormones, and this is a necessary building block to make these sex hormones. In this case, testosterone, which would be the finished product that was built from DHEA. Therefore, having an adequate amount is important, because it's going to be a lot easier for the body to make all the necessary hormones, including testosterone. And when it comes to supplements, DHEA is safe to use, and also is going to be one of the most important ones to increase testosterone. And it also so effective that it is prohibited in sports, given that it increases athletic performance due to the levels of testosterone. But if this is not enough, one of the real values comes by lowering the impact of andropause and menopause and increases the quality of life. This is important to remember because it increases testosterone in men, and it also increases progesterone and estrogens in women. 25 to 50 milligrams is usually the optimum amount, but if you want to do this right, have some tests done, and from there determine the most appropriate amount according to your needs. The last one is boron. Boron is a mineral that not many people pay attention to, But if there is a lot of studies showing that consuming 10 milligrams per day will increase testosterone both in men and women. Now, besides supplements, another important aspect is nutrition, and this is something that we cannot ignore. The first thing is that intermittent fasting will increase testosterone levels, especially after 12 hours of fasting. But the important aspect to remember here that caloric deficit is not necessary, but you need to maintain the appropriate caloric intake that your body needs. And that's because if the body goes through a caloric deficit, the metabolism will slow down, preventing the increase in testosterone. If this intermittent fast is done correctly, not only will testosterone increase, but also the receptors that use testosterone will become more active. The next factor in nutrition is the consumption of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are essential for testosterone production, given that if there is no carbohydrates in blood, the levels of anabolic hormones in the blood will impact and be lower. And since this is correlated to the testosterone levels, it will create also a drop. And for this, either consuming carbohydrates with a high glycemic index, which are fast to digest, but not recommended for those looking to lose weight. Instead, consuming those that are more fibrous and slower to digest will be more beneficial. The last approach, while it might sound a little bit less conventional, is the usage of creatine. Creatine is a natural molecule that's produced by our body and to store phosphates that will be used for fast energy release. These phosphocreatine quickly releases energy in the moment that is needed so that the cells will be able to manage cellular stress. The importance about this effect is that this is not just for the person that goes to the gym, and I mention it because creatine is mainly associated with athletes. Creatine has a positive impact such as improving cognitive functionality, performance, liver function, muscle contractions, and the increase of strength, which will lead to the increase in testosterone levels because we have more cellular energy. And there is no need to consume it in a supplement form, given that it can be found in food. It's found in eggs, fish, and beef. This amount is not going to be as high as the supplement form, but it will help you. Today, it's readily used to increase the levels of brown fat and increase muscle mass. However, not many people know that it has a neurological and cardiovascular benefits. And I know why you're thinking this is a bad supplement that can create kidney problems. And I used to believe the same. However, as I read more and more, I found that if there is no kidney problems, it is safe to use even for long periods of time without the need of stopping, which is something very interesting and something I will be testing myself by taking 5 milligrams per day for a whole year before recommending it to you guys. Are these the only ways to increase testosterone? Well, short answer is no, but according to research, these are the most proven to work. While there are other methods, the research is still inconclusive, like using the Wim Hof method to lower the testicles temperature and increase testosterone as a result of it. So that is it for this video. If you guys found this video helpful, please hit the like button and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one.